Good morning all of you. Myself Dr. Yuthika Rao, Assistant Professor of Mahatma Gandhi Physiotherapy College. So here we'll take the topic today is pneumothorax, a very common condition we can say. So here we start. Pneumothorax. What do you mean by pneumothorax? Okay, so basically it's a presence of air or gas in the pleural space, और फिर हम बोल सकते हैं air between the lung and chest wall और air between the visceral pleura and parietal pleura. So pneumothorax कैसे हो सकता है, ठीक है? So basically traumatic भी हो सकता है और spontaneous भी हो सकता है. So it can be traumatic or spontaneous. Traumatic means it can be due to any performing any thoracic, cardiac or chest wall surgery. Spontaneous pneumothorax, it can be due to rupture of pleural bleb. So here there may be a question arising, what do you mean by pleural bleb? So pleural bleb, it's a small collection of air between the lungs and outer surface of the lung. Okay. So again, spontaneous pneumothorax, I have mentioned two types of pneumothorax, spontaneous and traumatic pneumothorax. So spontaneous pneumothorax, it's again classified into two, that is primary and secondary pneumothorax. So here is a classification flowchart showing pneumothorax classification. First, pneumothorax, it's again divided into spontaneous and traumatic. Spontaneous is subdivided into primary and secondary. Traumatic, it's subdivided into iatrogenic and non-iatrogenic. Then iatrogenic into interventional procedures, positive pressure ventilation. Non-iatrogenic means penetrating trauma or blunt trauma. So what do you mean by primary spontaneous pneumothorax? It basically occurs in healthy individuals without underlying any lung diseases. It occurs due to the rupture of apical subpleural bleb or bullae. There is a picture showing the spontaneous pneumothorax, primary kind of. So what are the factors behind this type of pneumothorax? Factors can be smoking, it can be tall or thin male, airway inflammation, structural abnormalities of bronchial tree and genetic contribution. Secondary spontaneous pneumothorax. So basically it is seen in patients with underlying lung disease. The patients who are suffering from any kind of lung disease, there are chances that pneumothorax is present. Okay, so basically secondary spontaneous pneumothorax can be due to any kind of infection or it can be due to any malignancy. Infection can be, for example, like tuberculosis, acute bacteria pneumonia, then COPD, obstructive lung disease, interstitial lung disease, fibrosis, sarcoidosis. So these all are kind of infections which results in pneumothorax. Then malignancy. In malignancy you can say primary lung carcinoma, complications due to chemotherapy. The patients who are taking or undergoing chemotherapy, there are chances which can result to pneumothorax. Then connective tissue diseases, scleroderma, Marfan syndrome, pulmonary infarct. So all these are the examples due to which secondary spontaneous pneumothorax can result. Now what are the clinical manifestations or you can say clinical features you will see in a patient suffering from pneumothorax? It can be dyspnea, that is shortness of breath, chest pain, that is pleuritic kind of chest pain. Then these are the common manifestations you will see in a patient with pneumothorax. Uncommon manifestations are cough, hemoptysis, orthopnea, cyanosis and moderate tachycardia. Now comes traumatic pneumothorax. As I have already mentioned, traumatic pneumothorax basically occurs due to during any surgeries, cardiac, thoracic, any kind of surgery. So traumatic, we have accidental trauma, that is non-iatrogenic. In accidental trauma, there will be blunt trauma or penetrating trauma. Blunt trauma we can say with fractured ribs, tracheal fracture or esophageal rupture, and penetrating trauma, stab wound or gunshot injury. Then what are the iatrogenic causes? These are the like first we can say positive pressure ventilation, First, what will happen in positive pressure ventilation? There will be alveolar rupture, then interstitial emphysema, and that will lastly results into pneumothorax. Second is interventional procedures. Any kind of interventional procedures, like for example biopsy, thoracocentesis, CVP line or tracheostomy, while doing all these procedures also there are chances that it can lead to pneumothorax. Now we will see clinical type of pneumothorax. Clinical type pneumothorax is again divided into three: closed, open and tension pneumothorax. So here are the pictures showing. First is the closed pneumothorax, second is open pneumothorax, and third is tension pneumothorax. So what do you mean by closed, open and tension pneumothorax? What will happen? In closed pneumothorax, the pleural tier is sealed. Then the pleural cavity pressure is less than the atmospheric pressure. Okay. Then in open pneumothorax, the pleural tier is open. The pleural cavity pressure is equal to the atmospheric pressure. And in tension pneumothorax, the pleural tier act as the ball and wall mechanism. You can see it here. Okay, and in this the pleural cavity pressure is more than the atmospheric pressure. So what is the mechanism behind this? In normal people, the pressure in pleural space is negative during the entire respiratory cycle. Two opposite forces result in negative pressure in pleural space, that is outward pull of the chest wall and elastic recoil of the lung. The negative pressure will be disappeared if any communication develops. This is the picture showing basically a collapsed lung occurs when air escapes from the lung. Okay, then it's a small pneumothorax, and that third picture it is showing large pneumothorax. Clinical manifestations: sudden onset with chest pain. There will be a chest pain with sudden onset. Then there can be chances of tightness of chest on the affected side, that is due to deep breathing. Then acute dyspnea or increase progressively, orthopnea and cyanosis in severe cases. Now in closed type, what are the clinical manifestations we'll see? First, it can be mild breathlessness, no pleural effusion, complete recovery within a few weeks. In open type, breathless is mild within a few weeks and infection of the pleura is common. In open type, breathless is mild but does not improve, and infection of the pleura is the commonest. In tension pneumothorax, it can be marked tachypnea and cyanosis is seen. Here comes the pathophysiology of pneumothorax. First, the negative pressure is eliminated. How? The lung recoil and जो lung volume होता है that will get decreased, and V by Q low anatomic shunt hypoxia. Positive pressure, it compresses the blood vessels and heart. There can be decreased cardiac output, impaired venous return and hypotension. That result in decreased in vital capacity and decreased in partial pressure of oxygen. How you'll examine pneumothorax? On physical examination, you can examine on the depending on the size of pneumothorax. Then you'll monitor the vital signs that are usually normal or not. Unilateral chest movements. Trachea may be shifted towards the contralateral side if the pneumothorax is large. Then tactile firmitus is absent. Percussion note is hyporesonant. Breath sounds are reduced or absent on the affected side. The lower edge of the liver may be shifted inferiorly with the right side of pneumothorax. Investigations and diagnosis. So here is the chest X-ray in erect position and chest X-ray in supine position. Pneumothorax with mediastinal shift. These are the CT scan that diagnose easily pneumothorax. This red dye you can see it here. Here it is getting diagnosed with pneumothorax. Now comes the management. Goals of our management is first to promote lung expansion, to eliminate the pathogenesis and to decrease the pneumothorax recurrence so that it doesn't happen it again. Now what are the treatment options? First, you have to classify what kind of pneumothorax it is. It's a primary, spontaneous, traumatic or non-iatrogenic. First you have to classify the type. Then comes the pathogenesis, then extension of the lung collapse, severity of the disease, complication and concomitant underlying disease. Thank you.